Well, good evening and welcome back, National Soccer League fans. Week 4 action is officially here, and kicking it off in our first match of the week is the Thunderbirds hosting the Pink Nightmare. Two teams in the ASC battling for a path back to the playoffs. Thunderbirds off to a great start. One of just 3 teams to start their campaign with 3 wins in a row. Pink Nightmare started with a win in week 1, but have lost 2 on the bout since then, and it doesn't get any easier for them today here, visiting an undefeated team and a Soccer Bowl finalist from past season. And the Thunderbirds on your screen here, who are looking to make it 4 from 4 in their second home game this season. A win here last week against the Charioteers, and here is their starting lineup again. No changes. They have been blessed with a healthy starting 11, and so far so good. Isaac Powers, who failed to score in weeks 1 and 2, was off to the races with a hat-trick in a 3-1 victory, as we mentioned before last week, to propel his side to all 3 points and start with a perfect 3 from 3 on the season. Turn our attention now over to the Pink Nightmare, who, again, had a similar fate early on last season, struggling to win games early and then turned it around, hoping to avoid the same pitfalls, and here is their starting 11, and bad news for them is they are down a man in Kilian Koenig. The normal left winger is out due to accumulation of 2 yellow cards, or might have actually been a red card, I believe, last week. So the forgotten man, Arnaud Bastiens, the Belgian winger, comes in to replace him, and Jonas Thunderbirds off to a slow start with his new club. He never went more than 3 games without a goal for the Manticores in his 2 years there, but he is in danger of that happening here. Yet to score for the Pink Nightmare, and it's on his 4th game here. The scoring woes have continued in the striker position for this team. Can he break the duck today? It's going to be tough sledding against a Thunderbirds team who has only conceded 3 goals all season long. But we are ready to kick off. The hosts get us rolling in our first of 2 matches on a fabulous Friday night here, as fall is right around the corner, sun setting in September, and the Thunderbirds have kicked us off. Here's Miguel Conchicao, who's made that ball his after a tackle in the midfield. Laurent Cartier has been also off to a slow start, but that's a nice pass from him. David now through to Arnaud Bastiens, who's going to get there. This is a good start from the Pink Nightmare. Drilled in towards David, and not comprehensively cleared as Tura hits the strike, and Grenadinu, fortunately enough for him, it's right at him. What in the frick has gone on there? Oh my. Thunderbirds now trying to play out of their own half. A promising start from the Pink Nightmare, though, and they've won the ball again on the halfway line. Here goes Bastiens with David in support. Powers, your player to watch after the performance of last week, the 3-goal effort and the hat-trick. Thurierson to David. It's nice again from the Pink Nightmare. Here's Thurierson trying to slide it on through, and Anderson did really well to get a toe in. Prevent the pass from reaching its intended target. Andres Raider now trying to break for the Thunderbirds. Powers holds it up well. Prestes to Perkins. Now Felix McCartney getting the Thunderbirds as far as they've been up the pitch yet today. Here's Prestes again. Gets his old club. Eulogy Prestes was let go by the Pink Nightmare this off-season to the Thunderbirds, and blocked the shot there as Albertura, so he'll be itching to get a goal back against his former employers here. Missed most of last season through injury, Eulogy Prestes, and part of the reason he was deemed surplus to requirements by the manager. Here's David. Cartier to Bastiens. Nice little touch on to Thurierson. Pulls it back now. Good skill. Jonas Thurierson going to try it, and Raider got a block in, and Grenadinu's ball. Cartier went up for it and didn't get it. Rolled out by Grenadinu. Raider. Perkins showed too much of it to Van Genetchen and gave it away. So far, the Pink Nightmare looking slightly more convincing as the 2 sides get forward. And here they come again with Bastiens, who's finding a lot of space on the left flank. Wiltons is in there, fighting for it. David blocked by Varzowski. Pink Nightmare creating chances at will at the moment, but now here goes Powers the other way with Saratobi in support. Now it goes to Pace Conrad. Saratobi trying to get in behind. Kanahamaru Saratobi hangs it up to the back post, and Perkins off the post. Van Laar got a piece of it. Conrad on it again. Now the Thunderbirds trying to get forward. It's going to be off the arm of Bastiens, and a free kick to the Thunderbirds here. see what pace Conrad can put on this delivery here from the corner flag. Drilled into a teasing area. Concha Cow has to put behind for a corner. A bit of a slow start, but the Springfield faithful are liking what they're seeing now as their side push for the opening goal. 19 minutes in here. Conrad to take again. By Voigtens as far as Anderson. Here's Powers, though. Into the area. Able to keep it in play. Back to Conrad. Nice ball inside. Prestes. Powers. But Concha Cow. The vital interception there. If the Roosters did well to hold that ball, it's a 1v5 for David. Try and work some of his magic. David. This ball to Thunderbirds, who's into Cartier. Pass is telegraphed and given away. Conrad in Washington able to cut it out. Andreas Rader, a former Pink Nightmare player as well in the Thunderbirds midfield. Powers trying to find Saratobi on the back door. Ooh, a little bit nervy at the back and nearly broke for the Thunderbirds. It was a fortunate bounce from Craner as he tried to get it to his keeper in a tight window. Could have gone anywhere. And another misplaced pass for the Pink Nightmare going forward. They have struggled to score. Only 2 goals all season long as Saratobi's header comes in, and lucky for Van Laar, straight into his open arms. Gerson's header, and Elder Joure bounced off it by Saratobi. Here is Saratobi on the return. Strike! Konoharu Saratobi with an absolute pile driver to break the deadlock here. Thunderbirds up 1-0. The Pink Nightmare started so promisingly, but they've waned in this game, and what a move by Saratobi there. And Powers picks it up. Van Laar, normally so reliable between the sticks, has not started in the best of form. This is a effort from outside the box, a fine strike, but looked like it should have been something he could at least get a touch on. Nowhere near it. Take nothing away from the finish from Saratobi, though, who has his 3rd goal for his new club. He is settling in nicely in Springfield. 1-0 to the Thunderbirds, and the Pink Nightmare give it away again immediately. They have been sloppy these last 10 minutes. Powers returning the favor that time. Also, Voigtens has been quiet again today so far after his late season resurgence. Courtney jousting in there and got a piece of it. Here's David. Nice pass from David to Cartier, and Groenland didn't able to spill it behind just in time. Corner for the Pink Nightmare now. Cartier, and that is a calamitous corner kick attempt there off his own man, Nasser Voigtens. What were they thinking there? Look at the goal here from Saratobi. It goes from Gwenlandenu. Here is Thurerson. Cartier out wide to Voigtens. 10 minutes to go in the half. Pink Nightmare searching for an equalizing goal. Davi, and picked off by Xavier Washington. Good defending there. Toure got it to Voigtens. Back to Voigtens in towards Davi. Goal, and somehow Grenlandenu is able to keep it out. What a stop from Grenlandenu. It should have been 1-1. And somehow, some way, denied. 10 minutes to play. Pink Nightmare, we're pushing for an equalizing goal. This is a better setup this time. Deep it goes towards Concha Cow, and Gabriel Harris with the header. And just a hair over the goal. There's a good chance, or a half chance at least, for Harris. Daniel with another goal kick. has made a couple big saves in this first half, Grenlandenu, and has, in tandem with his strike partnership, got his side a goal to the good. As we head towards halftime, here's Prestez going to try one from range, and that one was not one with his best. Let's see, he's itching to get one back against his old club. Not as confident on the right foot there. A little bit of a scuffed effort. Here's the Rearson. Cartier goes wide to Bastiens. Cutting inside now, waiting for some support. Here's the Rearson on the return. Clever little passing. David Grenlandenu is here on the spot once again to cut it out. The Rearson into David. Wrzowski got a piece of it. David giving chase. And lost out again. Wrzowski in the way. Nightmare had some flashes of potential, but nothing to show for it. Some less than clinical finishing so far in this one. Nice passing. Prestez. Saratobi's in again, and Conchicao able to get it clear. Nice pass. The Rearson made the wrong choice on the return ball and given away. Powers trying to get forward. Harris crunches him down. Here is Prestez. Powers advancing. Last chance of the half, maybe. Powers. Conrad has a runner on the edge of the box. It's Rader. Conrad going to let fly. Blocked by Harris. And still alive here with Prestez against his own club. Prestez, what a save from Ben Lahr. That's a great stop. He conceded from a similar position earlier and able to get a hand up to deny on this occasion. Would have been a real gut punch for the visitors here. Swung in towards Perkins. Toure got it away, and that should do it for the first half. And indeed, there is the whistle from the referee. It is another low-scoring affair with the Pink Nightmare. A 1-0 lead for the Thunderbirds. Saratobi strike, the difference between the two sides at the half. We'll be right back to bring you the conclusion of our first match of Week 4 action on the National Soccer League Network in just a moment here. Welcome back, National Soccer League fans. And it is a 1-0 lead to the home side here at the break. Pink Nightmare have had their chances, but some great goalkeeping and less than ideal finishing, keeping that away tab at a 0 for now, and that is not going to help as Bastiens bit off more than he could chew. Given away, and Thunderbirds are trying to get on their way. Cartier with a nice tackle, and followed up by Elder Toure. David trying to work forward. And Rearson joining in support, and that ball is just not going to get there for Anderson. Pink Nightmare running out of ideas going forward, it seems. As Powers used an arm to control that ball, it will be Pink Nightmare ball around the halfway line. So Pink Nightmare, again, goals have really dried up. A 3-2 victory in Week 1, and since then they have not scored. And that's not going to help either. They're able to straight out of bounds. Powers on the turn has it to Andreas Rader, one of two former Pink Nightmare midfielders here. And here's the other, Eulogy Prestez, trying to spellbind these defenders. It's a nice move. And Harris again. How often is he at the heart of everything good for the defenders of the Pink Nightmare team? On the ball again here, Gabriel Harris. It's a to David. Quick pass to Toure. David to the Rearson. Laurent Cartier. Trying to advance with speed, and here he goes. Nice layoff for David. It's a good pass. and good save from Danu. Looked like for all the world that was going to be his moment. You could see the frustration. And that has been a frustrating afternoon for the Pink Nightmare. How does Danu react again? It's a good shot. He's just so quick to get down. Great goalkeeping there. The Pink Nightmare continue to search for an equalizing goal. And we'll have to wait for a substitution. Davi is being withdrawn here. Interesting change as Nico enters the fray, but Davi has been one of the best players in the field. Withdrawn early again here by the Pink Nightmare today. Interesting storyline to watch there. Corner comes in now, looking maybe for a little bit more height on the headers, but you've got to get it away from the goalkeeper if you want that to matter. That one was not going to do the trick as Conrad hacked down by Conchacao. Surely going to be a yellow card. And Miguel Conchacao is the first in the disciplinary book of the referee. Saratobi wanted more. It was a shocking sweeping challenge there, and rightly booked by the referee. Bastian's is withdrawn, and here's an interesting one. It's the introduction and National Soccer League debut of Charlo Joan Roca, the Andorran brother of the Boomers winger Jean-Charlo Roca. So this is going to be an interesting way to see how he develops on the pitch today, and then his career as a whole, of course. But Bastian's, again, continues to disappoint in Pink Nightmare colors. Have to wonder his tenure with this club may be over. Here is Craner. Rearson has once again impressed with his passing, but hasn't had much to do in the way of shooting. Toure trying to change that. Got to his feet. Nico. Cartier, and given away. Warzowski in the way that time, and turned over too easily again by the Pink Nightmare. Here comes Perkins, trying to beat Craner for pace, but it was well defended. Wide to Roca. First touch from him. And Nico gave it away. Trickling past the hour mark here. It's just over half an hour to play, and still just the one goal in it from Saratobi. Here goes Prestes trying to double up. It's Saratobi on it again. Keeps it in play. Just about. Oh, wow! What a strange sequence that was as Van Laar spilled it, and Perkins was waiting, the goal gaping, and he skies it over. Maybe the touch from Van Laar just enough to take it away from a tap-in. Person wins the header in the midfield. Here he is again. To Cartier. To Charlo Joan Roca. Nice ball. Rearson going to try it himself, and Danu has to spill it behind. The power of Rearson on display there. And so too the excellent goalkeeper and Island Danu again to the rescue. Desperate for that clean sheet. The corner for the Pink Nightmare here. This time it's Voigtens to take with Cartier running short, trying to mix it up. And another ball straight to the goalkeeper. That is just poor from the Pink Nightmare. Danu, not the best rollout there, though, as here's Nico on for Rearson, and the pass was just too far. A real chance and a real let-off there for the Thunderbirds. A big mistake from Danu on the distribution. Goes unpunished. Thanks to a last-ditch effort from Bruce Anderson. Opens with the interception there. 20 minutes to play. The hosts still in the lead. It's a slender margin, and the Pink Nightmare are still in it with a shout as Anderson's in there again. What a game he's had. Thunderbirds playing with a real sense of pride to protect that clean sheet. Here they come again, trying to put this game to bed. Perkins. Coolly skips away from Nico. Into Saratobi. Chance! And Van Laar. It's hands to it. To Conchacao it goes. Pink Nightmare trying to whip up one last opportunity, maybe. Solid chance. So far, they have not found a way through the impenetrable fortress that is Island Danu. Long ball is for Nico, and McCartney did really well there under pressure. Prestes to Warzowski. Clean and crisp passing from the Thunderbirds. Here is Raider. Has runners ahead of him. Powers one of them. Still Powers. Searching inside, and Harris is there. Here's Roca. And it goes from Nico towards Thunderbirds. It's 1v4 at the moment, though. The Pink Nightmare have got to start committing some numbers forward here. Still Thunderbirds searching for an outlet. Off of Warzowski. Looked in. It's going to be Groenlandenu's ball again. Another cross directly into the arms of the goalkeeper. The ball, and Harris did well to win it. Here's Cartier on the turn. A couple of options ahead of him. Nico, one of them. Voitin's on the back post advancing. Nasser Voitin's looking for Nico, and Washington with a big block. Another standing tall defense by the Thunderbirds. Conrad now. A little over 10 minutes to play with added time in consideration. Thunderbirds are clinging to that first half strike from Saratoga, looking to become the first team to make it 4 wins from 4 in week 4. Manticores will have a chance to answer in a little while. Here is Voitin's. Time is ticking out, and they've got to go now. Here's Craner. Another cross. Thunderbirds was in there this time as a sweeping ball. Not able to be controlled. Voitin's. Thunderbirds going to drive it. Good save from Groenlandenu. You can't fault Thunderbirds. Had some good efforts on goal, but Groenlandenu has just been unplayable at the moment. He has stopped absolutely everything they're throwing at him. I have a change now as this corner awaits, and indeed we do. Saratobi going to be withdrawn for Gabriel Thomas. First change of the day for the Thunderbirds. The goal scorer is off, and to a salute from the home crowd. Can they get this cross away from the keeper? Cartier does better this time. It's deep towards Van Ganeshen, but no one really attacking for the Pink Nightmare. Roca on the turn. Puts it back for Conchacao. Roca, Conchacao! Blocked by Washington again. Trying to work the space, but there's too many defenders and too many passes, and the Pink Nightmare turned it over. Here's Perkins trying to kill the game off, wind this clock down, keep possession. Hasn't been pretty, but it's been effective, and it looks like the Thunderbirds may have done enough. Thomas, good hold-up play. Prestes gave it away to Toure. But again, the Pink Nightmare, just no one there trying to get forward in the attack. They look tired out there. 4 minutes of added time, not a whole lot. Nico. Cartier. Out to Thunderbirds. Into Nico. Cartier. Nice ball to Voitins. And that cross just floating. Got away from him there. Too much power on it, I think. Nico. Thunderbirds. Cartier to Voitins. This is the moment! From point blank! That was the chance! Brilliant from Voitin's. Goal was gaping. And Groenlandenu maybe gets a piece, maybe did just enough. But the Thunderbirds has to bury that chance. That was a golden opportunity wasted by Thunderbirds. Groenlandenu will take his sweet time and absolutely no rush to take this goal kick. Looks like the Thunderbirds are going to hang on here. Another 3 points in the bag. Another win, 4 from 4. And for the time being, they will be top of the table. The Manticores, of course, will have the chance to answer tomorrow as we continue our coverage of Week 4 action. But the Thunderbirds have done enough. And there is... Nope, we're going to play on here. And there is the full-time whistle from the referee. Another low-scoring affair for the Pink Nightmare, but they lose the 3rd game in a row. And Thunderbirds, for the first time in his career, goes 3 games, and now 4 games without a goal. And he had an absolute gift waiting for him with the last kick of the game, and he puts it wide from point-blank range. Saratobi with the wonderful solo effort that has split the difference between these two sides. 1-0 win for the Thunderbirds. We'll be back in just a short while with our match of the day on the National Soccer League Network. For now, full-time stats and highlights from this one coming your way. We'll be back in a short while. Shut up.